This was an absolutely wild game between the New York Rangers and the Florida Panthers, but at the end of the day, the New York Rangers come out on top with a 5-4 overtime win for back-to-back overtime victories now over the Florida Panthers to take a 2-1 series lead after going down 1-0 in the first game. They lose that game there. Rangers have won back-to-back games now and are up 2-1 in this Eastern Conference Finals matchup. And the Rangers definitely did not get off to as good of a start as they did in Game 2 here, as pretty early on here, we see Braden Schneider make a bad turnover in the neutral zone. He ends up taking a 2-minute delay of game penalty off this turnover, and the Panthers get a power play where we see Sam Reinhart end up making a pretty good move there, popping that to his backhand, and ends up putting one past Igor Shesterkin for the 1-0 lead for the Panthers. But later on in the period there, with about 7 minutes and 17 seconds into the first, we end up seeing Jacob Trouba make a nice pass up to Vincent Trocheck, who's in the neutral zone, and he makes a great pass over to Alexis Lafreniere, who skates down on a breakaway and ends up roofing one on his backhand past Sergei Bobrovsky to tie this game up at 1. Both assists obviously by Trouba and Trocheck, but this was a fantastic goal by Lafreniere there, putting it in his backhand and just roofing one past Bob to tie this thing up at 1. And so far in these playoffs, Lafreniere and Trocheck have both been quite fantastic offensively, so that's definitely a good sign that this offensive production has continued out of both these players. And about 25 seconds after Alexis Lafreniere ends up tying this game up at 1, we see Will Cooley make a pass up to Braden Schneider at the point, and he takes a shot with Barclay Gaudreau up front there, and Matt Rempe as well, also screening Bobrovsky, and Barclay Gaudreau ends up tipping it in past Bob to give the Rangers a 2-1 lead. This was a pretty great goal as well. I mean, nice point shot from Schneider, a good tip by Gaudreau, who has been absolutely amazing in these playoffs so far. And Barclay Gaudreau is also a guy who only scored 4 goals in 80 games played in the regular season. To see him already have 5 at this moment in time in this game in the playoffs is pretty great to see. He's also a good penalty kill guy, lethal shorthanded offensively, definitely a very solid two-way player who has a ton of experience in the playoffs, as he has won 2 Stanley Cups with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And as we see late in the first period, the Rangers take their 3rd penalty of the game as Matt Rempe ends up getting 2 minutes for roughing. And on that penalty kill, as Keandre Miller circling the net, trying to clear the puck, it gets batted down. Carter Verhaeghe gets it, passes over to Sam Reinhart. And as Reinhart trying to make it past backdoor, it ends up going right off Trouba's skate and in. It deflects in there. Unfortunate bounce there for the Rangers, but that ties things up at 2. And on this play, Keandre Miller definitely does have to do a better job of clearing the puck, but it was a good play there by Reinhart to bat that puck at midair there, knock it down. Verhaeghe gets it, passes it to Reinhart, who's trying to go backdoor, it seems like, to Barkov, who was pretty open there, but unfortunately it goes off Trouba's skate and in, which definitely is not a good bounce there for the Rangers. And overall in this game, the Rangers played, really solid at moments, but definitely it was only moments because for the most part there, the Rangers definitely didn't have the best overall play. As in the second period there, for the most part, I wouldn't say they played the best, but later on in the second period, with about 4 minutes and 37 seconds left in the second, we end up seeing the Rangers finally regain that lead as Keandre Miller makes a nice pass over to Alexis Lafreniere, and he makes an absolutely beautiful toe drag around Dmitry Kulikov. It was a fantastic deke there. He ends up scoring there. Nice backhand move there. He puts one past Bobrovsky. It was a fantastic move, though. One of the best moves I have seen Lafreniere make pretty much since his, QMJHL days when he was so dominant there, being the MVP of that league and stuff. Alexis Lafreniere may not be the, McDavid level kind of guy or Austin Matthews level guy, but he is definitely a very, very good player. Obviously a first overall pick guy, but I think he's still going to have an absolutely phenomenal NHL career for a very, very long time, and is a big part in why the New York Rangers won this game, as he does get a second career multi-goal game in the playoffs. And a couple minutes later, after Lafreniere regains lead for the Rangers, Jacob Trouba gets 2 penalties, one for slashing and one for elbowing on pretty much the exact same play, and the Panthers get a 4-minute power play. But we end up seeing on that penalty kill for the Rangers, Gaudreau dumps the puck down, Vincent Trocheck's first to the puck, Gaudreau skates towards the net there, and Trocheck finds Gaudreau out front, who buries one, absolutely rifles one past Sergei Bobrovsky to give the Rangers a 4-2 lead. This was a beautiful goal, a great play by Gaudreau. They're obviously dumping it down, but he continues and follows the play up there. And like I said earlier, Gaudreau is a very lethal guy on the penalty kill there, as he shows it us here, obviously. I mean, Trocheck gets the puck there first. Great on him as well. Good effort by him. He gets the puck, finds Gaudreau's, crashing the net there, and he just rifles one for his 6th goal of the playoffs. This is absolutely fantastic to see. Gaudreau is such a talented player. I mean, obviously he's a fourth line guy, but so far in these playoffs, he has shown us that he can definitely do quite a bit for the Rangers offensively, and especially shorthanded as well, as he has 6 goals in the playoffs so far, and he gets his second of the game as well. He has been fantastic so far in these playoffs as a whole. And the Rangers do end up killing off the rest of that penalty. But now we see here, about 5 minutes into the third period, we end up seeing another unlucky deflection for the Rangers, as from pretty far out there, Carter Verhaeghe ends up taking a shot with Barkov out front there, and it ends up going off his glove and in there. An unfortunate one, obviously not, I don't think obviously Barkov meant to do that, but it ends up going in there. Another unlucky deflection for the Rangers, and now it is a 4-3 hockey game, and the Panthers claw back within 1. And unfortunately, about 2 minutes later, we end up seeing the Panthers strike again to tie this game up at 4, as we see Evan Rodriguez end up winning the faceoff back. Matthew Tkachuk gets the puck there, finds Gustav Forsling, the defenseman, and he walks in a bit and just rifles one past Igor. Honestly, Igor was in good position there, not too bad at all, but Gustav Forsling has a pretty great shot. He also ended up hitting the post later on in that period as well, but Gustav ends up rifling one past Igor on a pretty good shot by him, so that goal ends up tying things up at 4. But then now going on into overtime, we end up seeing the Panthers put on some pretty good pressure on the Rangers there, and like I said, for the most part of this game, I would say the Panthers were in control. They had a lot of great scoring chances, definitely outshot the Rangers by a decent amount, and at the end of the day, ended up having quite a few more shot attempts, as he ended up outshooting the Rangers shot attempt-wise, 108-44, but at the end of the day there, in overtime, we end up seeing Ryan Lindgren take a nice shot there from the point, and Alex Wennberg ends up tipping it in off the shaft of his stick. It ends up going past Bobrovsky to give the Rangers the overtime victory for back-to-back overtime wins from Game 2 and Game 3 here. This was a fantastic win here. Obviously not the best performance overall by the Rangers, but Igor Shesterkin ended up having an absolutely phenomenal performance there. He ended up stopping 33 out of 37 shots he faced. He was amazing, and you may look at the numbers there and say an .892 save percentage may not be the best, but when you consider 2 of those goals were kind of unlucky deflections from the Rangers there. I mean, the one goes off Jacob Trouba's skate there and in, and the other one goes off of Barkov's glove and in. So 2 of those goals, you definitely can't really blame on Igor. I think overall, Igor made some fantastic stops. He was amazing in this one, and definitely was the biggest reason why the Rangers ended up pulling through with the overtime win to go up 2-1 in this series. And that's the important part there. Rangers dropped the first game there, ended up splitting their first 2 games at home, which obviously isn't ideal, but not the biggest deal. And now taking at least one of these games away from Florida there, obviously when they're at home, is definitely something very important here. Having home ice advantage and being able to, split at least the 2 games away is definitely a good sign there for the Rangers. So going up 2-1 in this series is a good spot to be in right now. Hopefully we can take Game 4, obviously, in Florida as well. But either way there, if you're headed back to New York for Game 5 there, tied at 2 in the series, that is not the biggest deal in the world there at all. And I do think one of the biggest issues that we have seen so far from the Rangers is, one, being a little undisciplined against the Panthers here. They ended up taking 6 penalties. 3 of them were on Trouba as well. So not ideal in this game here. I mean, 2 of the other ones were on defensemen as well. So 5 total penalties on the Rangers D-core is not ideal. The other one was from Rempe. Not the best situation there. They ended up going 4 for 6 on the penalty kill there. The Panthers got 2 power play goals in this Game 3. But on the power play, the Rangers go 0 for 2 in this game, but so far in this series have gone 0 for 8. They have not been good at all in the power play since that Carolina series, really, and they kind of slowed down a bit in that second half of that series as well. So the power play's got to get rolling here. We know that can be a big strength of the Rangers, as they did have the 3rd best power play in the regular season. So hopefully we can see that heat up pretty soon. And the penalty kill as well so far in this series as a whole is 7 for 11. So definitely not the best there either. So the special teams definitely have not been too great, but we did see a nice shorthanded goal in this game here. So I definitely can't say the penalty kill has been too bad at all. And another thing that I wanted to point out in this game here that I saw was a lot of just sloppy play from the Rangers D-core, especially with constantly icing the puck. I know the guys were tired there, especially in that late third period, but the amount of times the Rangers iced the puck there was insane. You got to try and make that breakout pass, got to get the puck into your zone and not try and ice it, because a lot of guys got stuck out there on the ice for a lot longer than you'd like to see, so that is definitely not a good situation to be in. And the D-core as a whole of this game was pretty sloppy, I thought. Definitely did not have the best overall defensive performance, but at the end of the day, the Rangers come out on top there. And I mean, Gaudreau ended up having a phenomenal game there, a multi-goal game. He's got 6 goals now in the playoffs. He has been absolutely amazing. You see Lafreniere, he got his 6th goal of the playoffs so far as well. He's got his 2nd career multi-goal game in this one. He was amazing. Made a couple of fantastic moves as well. I mean, that toe drag around Kulikov was so nice, so that's definitely a very cool thing to see. And obviously Wennberg there getting his first goal of the playoffs as a New York Ranger, a very important one as well, the overtime winner. That was definitely something that was very, very nice to see. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. It helps with the channel a ton. I would really appreciate it. If you are a New York Rangers fan, don't forget to subscribe for daily New York Rangers content, as I do post every single day. And also don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on this game and on this series as a whole. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.